My name's Sarah Fielding. I'm the Employee Placement Team Leader here at Cambridge, and I manage a team across both sites of Huntingdon and Cambridge. And the presentation that I'm going to do today is all about industry placements, and hopefully we shall give you some inspiration about your industry placements for this year. So I'm going to turn my camera off so that you can see my presentation without me in the corner. Okay, so hopefully you are able to see the presentation all okay. So industry placements, you're probably all wondering what industry placements are. So industry placements are where we have students working in industry, and they are timetabled to attend 2 days a week. So you'll do 3 days a week of your study programme with Aaron's tutors, either at Huntingdon or Cambridge, and you will be timetabled 2 days working in industry. Now these placements are unpaid, and they are for a minimum of 45 days throughout the academic year, from around about October time through till June next year. The placements are to be industry specific, and they are focused on developing your practical and technical skills. And the placements, they really should be meaningful and industry related, and your tutor will set you objectives for you to help achieve throughout your placement programme. Placements are mandatory, and they are working in industry for an employer external to Cambridge Regional College. Okay, so industry placements. So you will have a timetable when you join us in September. So there will be 3 days a week where you're in college with your study programme and your tutors, and there will be timetabled 2 days a week where you will be attending a work placement. Until you found a placement, you will be expected to work with members of staff in the college to help find you your own placement. So as I said earlier, they are from October through till June and term time only. And they are to be purposeful, meaningful and beneficial to both yourself and the employer. So we don't want anyone doing jobs that aren't meaningful to you in your study programme. You need to be able to get something out of it. You need to be learning work-based skills from it and actually enjoying it as well. So we want to make sure that your placement is something that you get benefit from. Okay, so you're probably sitting there thinking, well, what are the benefits to me doing a 2-day-a-week work placement that is potentially unpaid? So you will be gaining industry relevant skills and technical experience. You'll increase your employability skills to ensure that you're work ready. So at the end of the academic year, whether it's this year or next year when you leave college to progress into full-time employment, you will have gained work-based skills throughout your curriculum learning. And a lot of our employers in this area look to find young people that actually have work experience in industry. And it's a kind of a catch-22 situation, because you leave college and you're asked to apply for a job and they want experience, but if you've been in a college for a full-time programme, you might not have experience. So these industry placements give you the best of both worlds, because you're doing your curriculum study programme as well as getting hands-on job within the industry. So there's opportunities for you for personal growth and enable you to make informed career decisions. We had a student a couple of years ago who wanted to be a PE teacher on our sports course, so we placed him working in a school as a PE teacher. And although he absolutely loved his placement as a PE teacher, and he had a part-time job at Holiday Club, he absolutely loved it, but it helped him make the decision that he didn't actually want to be a PE teacher. And he ended up changing courses the following year and became a plumber instead, and is now doing really well. So it's also about finding the type of roles that you are interested in, as much as the roles that perhaps you want to rule out that perhaps they're not the roles for you. Okay, so a lot of our employers that we work with, they are also our apprenticeship employers. So they're often looking for their next apprentice. So you might be with an employer that you work with for this year and possibly next year, and at the end of it, they might offer you an apprenticeship. It helps the young people to develop and grow valuable working relationships with employers and customers, and it's about being work ready and preparing your work-based skills, what's appropriate and what isn't, leaving your phone in your bag, not accessing your private email accounts during working hours, being respectful for people that you work with, and picking up skills along the way. It'll also increase your confidence of working within the industry. So it's all about building these skills for life after college. Previous industry placement students have secured full-time employment or an apprenticeship as a direct result of a successful industry placement. So if you're looking for employment after college, you might want to think about the type of placement you're going to do while you're at college and forward thinking to your next step. Okay. Hang on, I've gone too far. Won't be 1 second. Okay, so sourcing and securing your own industry placement. So we really encourage our students who are joining us in September to take the time between now and September to source your own placement. Have a look at companies that are in your local area. Maybe you've got friends and family who have roles in companies that you would like to progress into. So have a think about where you want to go. Be prepared when you come in September. If you've managed to find your own placement over the summer holidays, that's brilliant. If you haven't, then we do have a team of industry placement coordinators who can help you. They will be able to help you prepare for applications and interviews and help you be ready for when you actually do start your industry placement. So have a think about where you want to go. Make sure you've got an up-to-date CV, because lots of employers, before taking you on an industry placement, will want to have a look at your CV, and they may even invite you in for an interview ahead of your start date. So, as I said, we have a team of industry placement coordinators for each curriculum area, and they will be able to work with you in tutorials. They have drop-in sessions in the hub at Huntingdon and the hub at Cambridge, and they will work with you throughout your industry placement journey. The college will support you financially to cover weekly transport costs, whether that's a bus pass, a train ticket, or covering the mileage if you drive, or if a parent's willing to take you to and from your placement. And workwear and PPE, the college will reimburse for all of those costs. And if you are a student who is entitled for free school meals, you will receive payments in lieu of your placement days to cover your meals while you're on placement. Okay, so meet the team. So there we got myself, Sarah Fielding, the team leader, and Stacey Smith is the Business and Computing Industry Placement Coordinator over in Cambridge. And we're expecting a new starter to join us in September who will also cover business and computing in Cambridge. And then we have Paula Blake at the bottom right hand corner, who is our Industry Placement Coordinator for business as well in Huntingdon and Cambridge. So we have lots of members in our team, each covering different curriculum areas. So the support is here in college, even though we encourage you to find your own ahead of starting in September. Okay, so here's a bit about business and computing in previous years. We've worked with some really well-known employers in the Cambridge and Huntingdon area, Chorus Homes, Adam Brooks Hospital, and so this year we're also working with Huntingdon District Council. They have offered us up to 40 placements for Huntingdon District Council, and Cambridgeshire County Council are looking to provide similar opportunities. So we had a student 2 years ago who worked at Chorus Homes in Huntingdon as an IT technician, and they are now a CRC apprentice IT technician. And this person secured their apprenticeship based on the fact that they'd gained work-based skills as working as an IT support technician at Chorus Homes. And if you talk to Jack when you're at college, he will be able to share his experience with you, that he actually felt confident in applying for jobs and attending interviews, and that the skills that he gained on his industry placement put him in good stead for applying for jobs. So we had lots of students work at Adam Brooks, unfortunately not during the year of the pandemic, but previously they used to offer us multiple placements over in Cambridge, and some students have secured part-time job as bank staff, which is really, really good. Okay, so here's just some of the employers that we've worked with previously for business computing. So you'll see some names that you might recognise there: Hotel Chocolate, Huntingdon District Council, Cambridge Reuse and Premier Travel. So we do work with large organisations at the college. And also, if you were to approach any employers independently and say that you're a student at Cambridge Regional College, then they would probably be very keen to work with you. Okay, so there's just a list of some of the employees employers that we've had previously. Okay, so industry place experience for employers' feedback. So these are just snippets of some of the feedback we've received from employers. So we really missed our student on the days that they were not in college. So if you're in an industry placement for 2 days a week, the 3 days that you're not there, your employer will probably miss you and the impact that you're having in the team. Student exceeded our expectations as a first line IT support technician. We found our next apprentice. So as I said earlier, a lot of our employers or students that are on placement progress into an apprenticeship, which is really good news. And the student always arrived on time, was ready to work and integrated well with our team. So these are really good feedback from the employers of an industry placement student. Okay, so this is some of the student experience feedback. I've enjoyed working in a professional environment, gaining additional skills in the industry. I've learned how to diagnose faults and repairs on modern cars. My confidence has grown as a direct result of my industry placement, and I have a clear insight into how a company is run whilst learning new skills alongside my college course. They are really, really positive feedbacks from our young people that have done industry placements. Okay, so as I mentioned, placements are unpaid because you're going to get skills and experience of working in industry. But new to this year for students joining us for industry placements this year, we've set up an incentive scheme. So you could potentially earn up to £150 in vouchers, and that's a reward scheme for you to incentivise you to find your own placements and to work hard throughout your placement. So the first voucher you could get by Christmas, that is if you come to college in September with your own industry placement and that everything is secured and health and safety is done, which the college organise, and that you start your placement on or before the 12th of November. So if that is all in place and you start your placement, you can earn a £50 voucher. We are looking at curriculum specific vouchers in industries, so possibly PC World, maybe PC Curry World, or alternatively an Amazon voucher. It's to, you know, to just reward you for going that extra mile. And then the second voucher will be at the end of February if you complete 150 hours. And then your third voucher, although it says second voucher there, will be in June next year. So that's a great way to incentivise all of you and to give you a little bit of reward and recognition. Okay.
Ooh, so there is a question from Olivia Scott Sarah.
Okay.
And the question is, would an accountant be okay for a level 3 business placement?
Yes, absolutely. As long as the employer was willing to work with us and the student, then absolutely that would be perfect.
Does that answer your question okay, Olivia? You can just type yes or no in the box. And any other questions from any students that have been listening in about that's great, Olivia. Any other questions from students that have been listening in about industry placements at all?
I would have expected a lot more questions because I did seem to ramble on quite quickly and I seem to get through it quickly. Okay.
I think your presentation was very concise and very clear from an audience perspective. Okay, I think brilliant. The one thing that I would point out here is that back to what I said at the beginning, really, and to those of you that joined late, I'm Aaron, so I'm the head of Department for Business Computing and Travel. And the one thing that really stands out is the fact that there are so many more opportunities for young people who undertake an industry placement, and you've got to see it as a professional aspect of your program. You know, when I was training as a teacher, I had to do 2 days a week and then big old block placements of, you know, training to teach and work with students, and that was unpaid. But had I have not done that, I wouldn't have got to where I am today, and I wouldn't have been as successful in my career without that experience. So I guess it's really important to bear that in mind, that, you know, this is a professional placement that's going to really accelerate your opportunity towards the careers that you want to do.
Okay, thank you. Has anyone got any ideas about where they're going to try and find a placement, the type of opportunities that they're looking for? Does anybody think that they'll struggle to find a placement in local to where they live?
Someone's typing.
Oh.
There might be some typing at the moment. It's a shame we can't unmute people. Actually, Sarah, I have a question.
Yeah.
We've looked at students that would be doing applied law. Is it likely that some of them could secure placements in the legal sector or relevant sectors to the legal industry?
Yeah, they could secure a placement within the legal industry. I think there's different types of opportunities that they could secure.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if they struggled with that, as long as, I mean, a lot of large organisations, they often have their own legal department. Johnson Matthey, for example, they have their own legal department. Cambridgeshire County Council will have their own legal department, as would Chorus Home. So if they couldn't get a placement in the solicitors, for example, then larger organisations will have their own law department that they might be able to get an opportunity in.